Okay, before we get started on the basic how-to on to make these lilac cupcakes, there's two things that you may want to do some pre-prep work that might take a little bit of time that you have to prepare for. The first thing for the frosting is a lilac syrup. Now this only takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes. You're just going to take and make basically a syrup water. It's just sugar and water, but you're going to add, I did 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water. Put that in a pot, bring it to a boil. Once it's up to a boil, add about 1/4 cup of lilac petals and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Take it off the heat, and once it cools down some, you will put it in a jar. Put it, like this. Put a lid on it, put it in the fridge, and it's good for up to 2 weeks. I also added some red and blue food coloring to make it more purple. So you'll see that when we get to the frosting part, but this is what goes in the frosting. Your other longer prep time will be with the sugar if you want to use lilac infused sugar. You can use just plain white sugar, that's fine, but if you want to add an additional lilac note or additional lilac notes to it, you will want to infuse your sugar with lilac flowers, which takes a week or so. Basically what you do is take 2 cups of sugar, add 1/2 cup of lilac flowers, or if you want to do smaller amounts, do 1 cup of sugar with 1/4 cup of lilac flowers, put it in a mason jar, and you'll layer it. So you'll do like a layer of sugar, layer of lilac petals, layer of sugar, layer of lilac petals, until it's done. You want to clean off your lilac petals. You can rinse them if you want. I didn't rinse mine. I just basically shook them out, checked them for bugs, plucked them all, because I plucked them all by hand, and they're pretty small. So you'll be able to see if there's anything on them or not. But anyway, once you get them layered up, then you'll want to shake your jar once, twice a day, whenever you think about it, go through and shake it. You'll see that the sugar will get moist and will get kind of cakey, and you'll want to wait for that to dry out. Now with the lid on it, it's going to take a long time to dry out. So you can also, once it's been in the jar for 2 or 3 days, you can spread it out on a cookie sheet and let it dry out, and then sift your sugar through to get rid of the petals. Or what I did is I put this in a food processor with the petals in it and just ground them up, and I kept the petals in it. So there is kind of, you can, not that you can probably see it on this camera, but it's got flakes of lilac petals all through it, which is fine because they're all edible. So now we'll get down and get to the ingredients. Like I said, you do not have to use lilac infused sugar. You can just use 1 cup of sugar and you're good to go. It's just an extra floral note that you can add to your cupcakes to make it a little extra special. Or I guess, I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing this, so you're coming along this journey with me. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at our ingredients.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at the ingredients for the cupcakes. You're gonna need 1/2 cup of butter. You can use salted or unsalted. 1 cup of sugar. Again, you can use just plain white sugar, or if you want to do the lilac infused, you can do that as well. You want 2 large eggs, 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of lemon juice, and then you also have the option of adding 1½ tablespoons of lemon zest if you want to get all fancy up in the house with the Food Network, which I did not do in the ones that I made. So you do what works for you. So that covers the ingredients for the cupcakes, and then we will do a separate section for the frosting. Alright, so you're going to get yourself a bowl, add your sugar, and add your butter. Now what I would recommend here is to actually have the butter softened, like at room temperature. My butter was cold, so it took a little bit longer to get it mixed up. Either way will work, but you'll probably have an easier time if you have room temperature butter. It won't get so lumpy. Although this will all incorporate in once you add the eggs. So next you'll throw your 2 eggs in there, or crack them in there, and then you will add your vanilla extract. And then you can whisk that all up until it's all well incorporated and you get, a nice little creamy mess going on here. Next you're going to add all of your dry ingredients, your flour, your baking soda, and your salt. And then once you get it in there, then you want to mix it all up. Now you'll see here I am using the electric beaters to get it mixed up. But I would recommend actually after doing this to maybe mix it by hand. You will end up with a less dense cupcake. Mine ended up a little bit more dense than what I wanted. You will also add in your milk and your lemon juice here and get that all incorporated into your mixture. Next step is you'll get yourself your cupcake pan and put the liners in, and then fill up all the cupcake liners with your mixture. Normally you want to fill them about 3/4 full. Once you have all of your cupcake tins filled, you will put it in a 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. While your cupcakes are baking, now it's time to make the frosting. First you'll need a package of cream cheese, a full package of the confectioner's sugar, and then you will also need 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And then of course you're going to need your lilac syrup that we made previously. Put your cream cheese and your vanilla extract and the sugar all in the bowl, and then top it off with about 1/4 of a cup of the syrup, maybe a little bit more. And then you want to beat this all together until it's nice and smooth and creamy. And then we'll be ready to put it on the cupcakes. Yummy. Now that the cupcakes are done in the oven, go ahead and remove them out of the pan and put them on a wire rack to cool down.
Okay, so we got our cupcakes out of the oven. We have our cream cheese frosting made. Now comes the tricky part, frosting the cupcakes. Now yeah, you can just take a knife or spatula or whatever it is that you use and slap some on there. But I'm going to try doing some decoration of the cupcakes. I've got one of these silicone bags, and I got a bunch of different tips. I've never done this before, so this could turn out to be a complete travesty. But we're going to see what happens as I try to decorate these cupcakes with this thing. Alright, but this whole thing is something new, so we're still on this journey together. So I like to tell myself anyway. Alright, let's decorate some cupcakes, or massacre them, or something. See what happens. I think what I'm supposed to do is take my icing and put it in here, and then do some kind of groovy squeeze thing. Wish me luck. Okay, so didn't have the best luck with the decorating. I think what I should have done was, while I was waiting for the cupcakes to cool down, is I should have put the icing in the refrigerator for a bit to firm up a little bit. Because once I got it in the silicone bag to start decorating, the first couple, I was learning, and it you can see there on the video, it came out okay, but then as it warmed up, it got real kind of loose, muddy, thin, whatever you want to call it, and just did not work well. I had it coming out of the top of the bag. It was all over my hands. So at the end there, I kind of just gave up and slapped some on with a spoon. So there we have it. First time lilac cupcakes. First time decorating, or attempt to decorate. I had one that kind of came out pretty good with a nice little spiral. That was probably my best one. That's not so bad, right? So now we're going to taste it. See how it goes. I really wanted to do like this special little outro with having these with my morning coffee, but you know, whatever, screw it. Let's try these out. Yeah, the icing's really sweet, but the cupcake's really lemony. And pretty good. Could be better with coffee though. Or just a glass of milk. Oh. Or maybe a lime Rita. Yeah, I think milk would be better. Anyway, hope you try this recipe out, and if you do, let me know how it works. Not bad for a first time. And in regards to the lilac, it's not very pronounced. It's kind of like a background flora thing going on, as they say on the foodie things. But, dude, it's a cupcake. Try it out. I don't even really have any that have some really sweet looking icing for a good Instagram picture. It's kind of sad. But whatever, man. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're staying safe. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Come back, subscribe, like, all that stuff you're supposed to do. Namaste. See you peeps later.